welcome back to another video. So I'm going to do a little bit of a different type of video today. I'm going to answer a question that I got that I think some of you might resonate with. I talk about it a lot on my channel here, but maybe this will clear some things up for you guys as well, okay? So I'll keep it anonymous. What she was saying was, I'm 29, Canadian, and work in long-term care helping seniors. I'm an aunt, sister, friend, and girlfriend, and I'm also anorexic and bulimic. 6 months ago, I put my career on hold to enter a treatment center. And to be honest, it was more of a feeding clinic with very limited therapy or education offered. I've suffered for FUCE years, I think that's a typo, and it all started with healthy dieting and exercise. I'm now underweight, but eat upwards to 10,000 calories a day in one sitting, and then vomit after. Before this, I had binge eating disorder, I believe. I don't think so. Which I think is genetic, coming from morbidly obese family on both parents. My little brother got gastric bypass last year as he binge ate too. I would have to question, I don't know your family, but what I see a lot is that a lot of people, the obesity thing, a lot of people are on low calorie diets. Like people that are what you would call obese are typically on an 800 calorie diet. I'm serious. I see this all the time. They're on Weight Watchers. They were put on Weight Watchers as a kid. They've just yo-yo dieted for so long that they've raised their set weight point because they continue to lower the metabolism, then binge eat, then go on a diet, lower the metabolism, then binge eat, gain weight because their body's trying to conserve, then they diet again, and they binge, diet, binge, and they could literally just continue to gain weight because their body never feels safe. I'm having such a difficult time determining when I'm to eat or if I'm just binging because my hunger cues are pretty much not functioning at this point. I'm under the care of a family doctor who was at a loss of what to do. Medications have not worked. At this point, I'm trying to allow myself 2,000 calories a day, give or take, of relatively healthy food with odd treats, but I'm still hungry at the end of the night, my binge time. Any advice you could offer would deeply be appreciated. God bless for your videos. They give me hope. Okay, so there's a lot of things. I've already touched on a couple of those. When you say I'm having such a difficult time to determine when I'm to eat or if I'm just binging because my hunger cues are pretty much not functioning at this point, that's the inevitable result of being on this, of being bulimic and anorexic for so long, is because your body is clearly asking for how much food you need, which is the 10,000 calories plus. But because you're vomiting and you're not keeping that energy in, it keeps your body in starvation mode because it's asking for that much food and you're giving it to it, but then you're throwing it up or, you're compensating. When really your body's asking for that much food because it very well needs it. It needs it for all of the past that you're coming from being bulimic and anorexic and not giving your body the food that it needs. So of course your hunger cues are gonna get messed up. If you're trying to determine when and what to eat, it's to listen to that hunger that says eat 10,000 calories in one sitting. That's how much you need. And at any moment, whether early in the morning, in the middle of the night, again later on in the day, like multiple times in the day, like whatever. Like it's to listen to that hunger at every point and to keep it down. To not compensate for it, not to purge it via exercise, not to purge it via vomiting, not to compensate the next day by not eating at all, to make up for all that you ate the day before. And then by this, eventually, the more that you eat, then your hunger cues start to function properly. They're already functioning because that's why you're able to eat 10,000 calories. You can sit there and eat 10,000 calories in one sitting. I mean, a normal eater that is not coming from passive restriction or someone that's recovered, they can't even fathom eating 10,000 calories anymore. Like I used to eat 10,000 calories in one sitting. Now, like I couldn't fathom. It would make me so sick. Yeah, your body balances out, but your hunger cues are actually functioning properly. It's just that your satiety is lowered and your hunger cues are raised because that's what your body needs. Your body has done that on purpose to allow you to eat as much as it needs and is asking for right now. And then as time goes on, the more you listen to this and you eat those 10,000 calories and then you keep it down, and the more you do that, as time goes on, your body starts to sense, okay, we've gotten a lot of calories in, we're starting to feel a little bit more safe, So let's start to lower the hunger just a little bit, raise the satiety just a little bit, and then slowly over time, it just kind of goes back to normal, you know? And really quickly, I just want to touch on bulimia because some of you may know this already, but I suffered with bulimia at one point in the disordered eating. But I also want to mention that bulimia is not just characterized to purging via the mouth. It's also considered, laxative abuse, diuretic abuse, and also exercise abuse, right? To all purge the calories. And I just want to talk about how damaging bulimia can be on our systems, because understanding the real effects on the body is what kind of woke me up to it. And I had to just go cold turkey. I didn't go back and forth. It was just one day I was fed up, done with purging via mouth, and I stopped overnight and didn't go back. So, some of the side effects and damage that can be done from bulimia are things like tooth decay from the hydrochloric acid coming up constantly. So the repeated vomiting over time can cause tooth decay. It can also cause damage to the esophagus and your throat, and just everything can cause esophagus cancer. You can also face acid reflux as a consequence, because over time from vomiting, the sphincter, which is the lower esophageal sphincter, it acts as that doorway between the stomach and the esophagus that opens to allow stomach contents to move back up into the esophagus. So over time this gets weakened, and you can start to face, really uncomfortable chest pain, or just the feeling that you're regurgitating things without even trying. That constant burn can just eat away at your esophagus, and it can lead to bleeding and scarring. It can even change your voice, and you could develop this hoarse voice, because the acidic hydrochloric acid that keeps coming up, which when it shouldn't, can damage the vocal cords and your throat. It also can cause dehydration. So the weight loss that even comes from purging is not even fat loss, it's actually just dehydration and water loss and electrolyte imbalance. And so dehydration in itself causes then another host of problems, such as kidney damage, confusion, or even loss of consciousness. So if you ever fainted after purging for so long. And so this also causes the electrolyte imbalance. So sodium, chloride, and potassium, keeping those electrolytes in balance, which are so crucial for heart health, kidney health, brain health, just everything health. So, this can even contribute to the heart problems or cardiac arrest. And then obviously, or maybe not obviously, but to me, it can cause intestinal damage or just problems. So if you're purging with laxatives or diuretics, this can cause constipation because you become dependent on those laxatives, because your small intestine, large intestine are, it's made out of muscle tissue. So when it's constantly just being pushed through and they don't have to, do their job, and they're weakened from the malnourishment, then they just become weak. And so they're not able to function on their own. So then you become constipated, and it's hard for you to get off of them. But like I've talked about in other videos, I show you how to, get off of enema dependency, laxative dependency, and all of that, because I was able to do that too. So these are just some of the side effects from bulimia and purging. Not to mention, this doesn't go into exercise purging, but I've talked about that and so much in other videos, so you can watch those about the stress that is caused from purging via exercise on the body, right? That could be one of the most painful joint pain, swelling type recoveries coming from a past of exercise abuse. So I hope this has helped just clear up some things about the detriment on your body from bulimia. This helped to be a wake-up call for myself that it just wasn't worth it anymore. Just wasn't worth it. So anyways, I'm not a doctor, and I'm not going to go against what your doctor's saying, but unfortunately there's not a lot of understanding in the medical community on the effects of starvation of the body. There are studies done, but these aren't taught. So it's really unfortunate, and that's why so many people struggle today. There's not enough education on starvation, and then what the body has to do as a result from starvation in order to heal. So that is, you're going to eat a lot of food, you're going to gain some weight, and you need to rest completely from exercise. So medications have not worked. What's going to work is eating all of that food that you've been trying to eat, but keeping it down. That's what's gonna work. Eating those 10,000 calories, keeping it down, do not vomit. Do everything that you can in your power to not allow yourself to purge, because you have to convince yourself that you need this, because you do. You need all of those calories. You need them desperately, okay, for your survival. So if you ever want to overcome this, you're going to have to eat all of those calories, and you're going to have to keep them down, and you can't compensate and you can't burn them off. Yeah, so and at this point you're only trying to allow yourself 2,000 calories a day with healthy food and odd treats. So see, you're still restricting. You can eat 10,000 calories in one sitting, but you're only allowing yourself 2,000 calories. This is a huge problem, and this is why you continue to binge eat, because you're not giving your body exactly what it's asking for. So right now, 2,000 calories, not even the minimum guidelines, mini-mod minimum guidelines of 2,500 calories, that's a minimum, okay? That's what it is, a minimum, but that's not a maximum. And you should be going for what your body's asking for, and that is the 10,000 calories a day. And if you're still restricting, thinking that the healthy foods and the odd treats, those kinds of things, all food right now has to be on a neutral playing ground. Like the bagel and cream cheese, the brownie, the ice cream, the donuts, the pizza, the burgers, the rice, the chicken, the dairy, the eggs, the yogurt, the fruit, the potatoes, the french fries, everything. Like everything is the same. Like there can't be this good and bad list, or else that food is always going to have this control over you, because the more that you try to control food, the more that the food controls you, and it continues to be ever consuming, all consuming. That's all you can think about is food, eat. You want to get over that. So the only way to overcome that, though, is like I talk about so much. A lot of you guys are probably sick of me talking about this, but the only way out of this is to eat all of the foods, and then eventually they lose their novelty. Like for example, peanut butter. I used to have like a jar of peanut butter every single day. I would spoon it out of the jar amongst all the other food that I was eating, like loaves of bread and blah, blah, blah. So I would have that every single day for months and months. Now, peanut butter oftentimes repulses me. It always did as a kid, but I could have peanut butter. Sometimes I might want peanut butter, but now it's just like, meh. I'd rather have a bagel and cream cheese, or butter on my toast. It wasn't just peanut butter was all consuming. It was like crack cocaine for me in the beginning. And it wasn't because I developed a food addiction to peanut butter. It was just that my body desperately needed the fats and the proteins in that. And it needed the nut butter, not just peanuts, but the processed form, the peanut butter, because it was easily digestible. It was already pureed and processed for my body to easily digest that. At one point, after months and months of eating like a jar of peanut butter every day, it slowly lost its novelty. And I still like the peanut butter, but it's just a whole different experience now. It's not like, oh my gosh, peanut butter, like that's my crack. It's just like, yeah, peanut butter, pizza, fruit, burgers, rice and chicken, And so that's the point that you want to get to too. But you can't get there by limiting yourself, by only allowing yourself to have 2,000 calories a day, or even 3,500 calories a day when your body's really asking for 10,000. Or, only having predominantly healthy food and just a couple treats here and there. Like you literally have to let go completely. Remember that the people that recover the quickest and most efficiently are those people that let go the quickest. They let go of exercise completely. They let go and give into all their restrictions as quickly as they can. It's not a race. I mean, some people do have to go slower, and like maybe 1 week they focus on 1 or 2 fear foods, and then the next week they introduce another fear food, and then the week after that, so it's like that slower process for some people. But it's just constantly focusing on where can you challenge yourself to take you to the next level, rather than, okay, I'm going to challenge myself here and then stay safe there for a long time. And then maybe I'll get enough power to challenge myself once more, and then I'll get really safe there. Or the reverse dieting type approach, where you slowly add in like 100 calories once a month, that's gonna just prolong your recovery so long. So anyways, that's probably why you have the nighttime eating or nighttime binge time, is because you're only allowing yourself to eat like the bare minimum calories. So that's why your body's like, oh my gosh, we gotta make up for all the calories that we missed throughout the day. Because if you could, I'm sure you would probably eat the 10,000 calories in the morning, but you're not allowing yourself to do that. So therefore, by nighttime, you're just ravenous. So I would suggest focusing on eating more food throughout the day. And then even if you're still hungry at night, then that means that your body needs all of that. Okay, so some people don't even have their hunger or extreme hunger. So your hunger cues are working, and that extreme hunger is from your body is a sign that you need to be eating more. Even just the mental hunger, just constantly thinking about food, that means you need to go eat. So if you see something that you want, eat it. You know, none of this replacing, like, or I really want the brownie, but I should have the apple. Like, no, eat the brownie, because you're gonna eat the apple and you're gonna try to compromise, and you're gonna have the apple and then you're gonna have like a protein bar, and then you're gonna end up eating the brownie anyways, typically. So then if you would have just ate the brownie first, you know. So just to touch too, I remember talking about this. I used to think that because I had obesity on within my family, that I thought that I just had the obesity gene as well, and that I thought that I was doomed to a life with this bottomless pit type hunger forever, that was just going to be me. And through recovery, I found out that that was just a lie. It was just because I was restricting myself for a lot of my life, and so that's why I was just constantly hungry, always hungry. So you'll find through recovery, if you really give it a full chance and you allow your body to do what it's designed to do, then you're gonna find that that's the case for you as well. Because it's not that you have binge eating disorder, it's that you've been restricting yourself, vomiting the calories that you do eat, and probably I don't know if you over-exercise, but if you do that too, like all of this takes away from the energy that you need. So it doesn't create binge eating disorder, it just means that binge eating is healthy for you. We have this misconception of binge eating, but binge eating is going to be the healthiest thing for you right now. So don't fear the binge, give in to the binge, encourage the binge, listen to the binge. Okay, I know there's a lot of fear around binge eating, but this is what gets you recovered. I hope that this video has helped clear things up a little bit. Let me know what you think in the comments below, and until next time, I'll see you in the next video.